Firstly, remove the cover off the recovery unlock system. Underneath the cover you will see 4 Allen bolts. Unscrew these bolts, to allow you to remove the side fairings. Now lift the side fairing away from the fuel tank and using both hands slide the fairing forward. Repeat the procedure on the opposite side. Next, remove this panel above the headlight. There are rubber grommets clipped to the cockpit here. And there are Allen bolts here. You will need to crouch down to see them. Lift the cockpit fairing and insert a long driver with a 4mm hex bit. Detach the rubber grommets and carefully pull the top of the fairing away from the cockpit area. Then slide the pointed, lower part of the fairing upwards, detaching it from the headlight. Once free, leave the fairing hanging in place. There is a wire connected to the 12-volt socket. There is also a wire connected to the receiver for the keyless ignition. These are the clips behind the fairing and the rubber grommets that attach to them. Now remove the 3 Allen bolts from the screen. Lift the screen to gain access to the bracket underneath. On either side the cockpit, you will see a hole. There are Allen bolts in here with a large flange. Unscrew these bolts and remove them, being careful not to drop them as they are quite fiddly to get out of the hole. Standing in front of the bike, slide your fingers behind the screen mounting bracket. You will feel locating dowels on either side. There are washers between the screen bracket and cockpit. Hold these in place and slide the screen mounting bracket upwards. These are the washers. I am going to feed the USB cable through one of these holes. Measure the width of your USB socket and drill the hole to suit. Before drilling, check behind the cockpit for any wires that could get damaged. Slowly drill the hole to the required size, checking as you drill so as not make the hole too large. Feed the USB cable through the new hole and finish with a grommet to avoid chafing on the cable. Insert the base of the Evotech Performance bracket into the hole in the screen mount. Feed the USB cable through the bracket. Then attach one of the small P-clips that come with the bracket to the cable and attach this to the back of the bracket with one of the torque screws supplied. Attach the Evotech Performance mounting bracket to the back plate using the Allen bolt supplied. The bracket is now installed and should look like this. It looks very original and factory finished. Tidy up the wiring. Use Velcro strips or adhesive pads to secure the voltage reducer. There is a live feed under the left-hand fairing. Connect the USB cable to this. Attaching the side fairings is the opposite of removal. Position the top of the fairing under the cockpit trim and make sure the tabs are aligned with the holes on the bike. Then slide the side fairing backwards, securing it in place with 2 Allen bolts. Now the bike has been rebuilt. Check all fairings are secure and in place correctly. Make a final check of the wiring to ensure it isn't catching on anything. The phone mount you can see here is from a company Peak Design. I find their mounts better than Quad Lock.